SOSG, standing on solid ground. Hello, this is Kim Jones with Standing on Solid Ground. I am the host of this inspirational and motivational podcast. Today, I am going to speak about my next level in my solid ground, which is trust. Trust is very important to me because I am expecting someone or something to come through for me as it is promised, as it was told to me, and I don't look for anything any less. Now, in the beginning of this process of me putting together this podcast, I put together faith. Faith, I trusted in God to come through for me. I trusted in God to provide for me. I trusted in His Word. I trusted in His promises that He made to me. And in the end of my trusting Him, He came through. My trust was totally and completely in Him. Now, I know that we all at some point in time in our lives have been disappointed. We've been disappointed in our parents. We've been disappointed in our friends. We have been disappointed in our spouses or boyfriends or girlfriends at some point or another in our lives because they broke that trust factor, that you can't trust them anymore. Now, if you know that you sent someone to the store and you gave them $20 and you asked them, I need for you to pick me up a gallon of milk, I need for you to pick me up some eggs and butter, and if you have enough, maybe a loaf of bread. If not, don't worry about it. And they come back with the excuses they ran out of eggs, or they didn't have gallon of milk, they only had this pint size, or the bread was all gone, and you're looking for your change and they're not giving you your change. You say, well, what happened to my money if all you picked up was a pint of milk or a carton of milk? And you know that that carton of milk is only maybe $2, if that much, and they giving you all of these excuses. Your trust in that person has been broken. That's all it is to it. You will get to the point where you don't trust them anymore. Or if you ask someone, hey, I need a ride to work tomorrow, my car broke down, and I don't have the money to buy, to ride the bus or get me a Uber or something. So could you help me out just this one time? And I promise you, Friday, when I get paid, I'll make sure that to give you back that gas money. Well, Friday comes, and that person that's made you that promise don't show up, or they called in sick, or they avoid you at every cost because they don't either want to pay you or keep their promise to you. You've broken that trust, that bond. And really, a lot of people don't understand how important that trust really is. When someone gives you your word or their word on something, they're expecting you to fulfill that. I know that a lot of times I have told my kids, I said, I'm going to take y'all to this pancake house. I'm going to take y'all to get some pancakes. I'm going to take you to go get some pancakes. And it took me 3 years to get them to that pancake house. But I kept my word. I told them, hey, I know I told you that I'm going to take you to this pancake house, but I can't afford it right now. I know that I told you I was going to take you on this day, but I'm sorry, I'll have to take you some other time. But eventually I did take them to that pancake house because I did make that promise. God is the same way sometimes. He doesn't give us things right away when we ask for them. He doesn't give us something just because we ask, or immediately because it's something that we really, really want. He gives it to us when it's needed, or when he is ready to provide. It's not that he can't provide, but when it's time, he will. God gave me an answer to a prayer. And when I started this journey, in this prayer walk, and in this podcast, I was standing on faith. 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, "For we walk by faith and not by sight." In other words, we walk in the spirit and not in fear. And that's what I could not do. I could not walk in fear. I had to walk in the spirit. And in walking in the spirit, I trusted God. I gave it all to him. I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't. My back is against the wall. I don't know which way to turn. I don't want to go out here and try to apply for loans. I don't want to go out here and try to borrow money from family members and involve them in my personal life. That's why I'm coming to you, God. I'm asking you for help. I'm asking you to make a way. And I trusted him. And he did not fail me. And so we expect human beings to be the same way. However, that does not always work that way. There are times when you will fail. There are times when you will not be able to come through. But that's why I tell my children nowadays, I don't say I'm going to do it. I tell them, if I am allowed and if it's possible, I'll see that I get that done. I change my wording because I don't know what's going to happen next week or the following week or a month or two later. I don't know. But I leave it in God's hands by saying, if God wills, it'll get done. If it's God's will, it will happen. If it be God's will for it to come to pass, it'll come to pass. I leave it in his hands, meaning I'm trusting God to make a way. If it doesn't happen, then it must not have been the way that God wanted it to be. And sometimes I found out along the way when God doesn't quite do it the way that I want it done, and he has a better plan. His plan is better. So in doing my faith walk, I'm teaching my children, don't put your faith or your trust in things. Don't put your faith or your trust in your own understanding or in your own hands. Trust God. Let God do it. Because when we take control of something and when we do something for ourselves, what happens, we mess up. So not only are we praying for the very thing in the beginning that we're seeking to have God help us with in the beginning, we're also asking him to help us get out of the mess that we just created for ourselves because we made a bigger mess for ourselves. I don't want to make a bigger mess. I want to keep the mess that I've already made to a minimum, meaning that I want God to clean up this mess. I don't want to go out here and spill some more milk. If I know that I have a cup that has a hole in it and I keep pouring milk in that same cup, I'm going to make a mess. So instead of me going and pouring the milk in that cup that has a hole in the bottom of it, why don't I just let God give me the cup and let him show me how to do whatever needs to be done? And if he doesn't want me to do it, I just need to sit in the back seat, be quiet, and let God drive the car. And the reason why I sit in the back seat instead of the passenger side is because Jesus is in the passenger side. Remember, Jesus is at the right hand of the Father. He's going to always be at the right hand of the Father. So I will sit in the back seat and just be a backseat driver, backseat rider, and let God take me to wherever I need to go. Now, I put my trust in very little people. And when I say very little people, I mean very little people. because I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to be misled. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to put my trust in something and it fails. I hate that. I really do. I hate it's not the person. It's not the person at all. But I know that if I put my faith or my trust in them one time and they failed me that one time, it's going to be very difficult for me to ever trust them again. Now, I'll keep them close and love them and pray for them and keep them near and dear, but my trust in them will be very limited. And it's not because that they are the most terrible person in the world, but it's because you broke a promise to me. You broke my heart. You broke the trust that I had in you. And it can be a very major thing for me. When I did something that caused my parents to not trust me, I never understood why it took a long time for them to trust me again. Because if I lied about something or I, did something to sneak out and do something that I had no business doing and then later lie about it, it caused them not to trust me. And I didn't understand that as a teenager. I really didn't. But as I grew older and older and older and people broke their trust with me, I understood how my parents felt. Now, do I forgive them? Yes, of course I do. I don't hold it against them. It's just that I do things on my own. I don't put my trust in that person to do a thing that is very important to me. Now, when they come to me and they say, Kim, I need for you to do something, I will tell them, let me see how my schedule looks. Let me see what I can do. I'll let you know if I can do it or not. I never give a person a yes or no answer because I don't know what it's going to be like at that time that they need my help. So I have to be fair. I said, okay, well, let me know what time it is. Let me know exactly what you need. Give me time to see what my time is going to look like. Making sure that I am available to do that. Because you never know what could happen. I don't like disappointing people. I purpose that in my heart. I purpose that in my mind. And I purpose that in my spirit. Because when I break that trust factor with someone else, it's hard to redeem again. And I don't want to have to go through, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I apologize, I apologize, I apologize. And I knew that when I told them yes, that I could do it, I couldn't do it in the beginning anyway. So I don't give anybody a quick yes or a quick no. I just let them know, let me see what I can do to help you. And that is my philosophy in life, even with my children, my brothers, just whoever asks me. Now, I have a friend that I work with. I call her my sister. I call her my sister in Christ because she will give it to me straight from the gate. She does not bite her tongue about anything. And I trust her. I trust her to give me the truth. She gave me the name of this podcast, and I wanted to give that shout out to her. Her name is San, and I want to give that shout out to her and thank her for giving me Standing on Solid Ground, because I had another title, but I like the title that she gave me the most. I trust her. I trust her with whatever I have. I trust her with everything that I have because she will not stir me wrong. And that circle of trust is very small for me. I mean, I know that there are trustworthy individuals out here. I know they are. But I don't make anybody go through hoops. I don't have anybody jump through hoops. I watch what you do. I watch how you do things. I watch the task that you perform. And if you fall short, I don't criticize or put you down for it, but I limit myself to what I ask of that person because I don't want to be disappointed or let down. And vice versa, I don't want to let them down as well. So, my focal point on trust is very central to my foundation because I don't want many people to be in that circle that bring around me nothing but mistrust and misfortune, and that puts cracks or it starts to try to break away my foundation, and I don't want that. I want my foundation to stay sturdy and to stay strong in Christ Jesus. In that, I will say, if you have someone that you can trust with your heart, your mind, your soul, your body, and your spirit, I say very well, very good. I am so happy for you. But if you find yourself where you can't trust anyone, I say give God a try and see that He will do what He said He will do. And trust Him with every inch of your being. I do. And He has been nothing but successful in my life. I want this podcast to be motivational and uplifting to you, that maybe you can change your way of thinking and maybe you can adjust things in your life so you can be happy, so you can be better, and so you can be prosperous in everything that you do. And today, I will say trust in the Lord with all your heart, mind, soul, and body. This is Kim with Standing on Solid Ground. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope and pray that this has been a blessing to your life. You have a wonderful and blessed day.